Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a week in the life vlog. So today is Monday, January the 15th, and it is a federal holiday for me. And it is also supposedly going to be the day, or it was supposed to be the day, that in my local area we were going to get projected 5 to 6 inches of snow. Did we get that? No. Were my kids pestering me to death about when the snow was gonna come all day? Yes. Yes, they were. So that was fun. They were, ready to get out on the sleds and build snowmen and play in the snow. And we literally got not even a quarter of an inch. It was like a little dusting. Just a little on the top. Mostly it was sleet that happened. So that was fun. But the kids also have tomorrow off because of the sleet and the ice, and other places north of my house did get some snow, but they'll be off again tomorrow. I have to go to work tomorrow, but the base that I work at is closed, but I will be teleworking, so no change of my work schedule, except I don't have to go into the office like I was planning on it for tomorrow afternoon. That's no longer there, but that's kind of been the day so far. So far it's now 4 o'clock. So far today I have updated my planner, my Hobonichi cousin. I have a planning channel if you would be interested in seeing any planning content, but I have my Hobonichi cousin. I did update this already for the day. I am about to record a video that's going to be coming up this week before this video. It's going to be before this one goes live, but it's going to be how I annotate my books. So I'm about to record that. And then I already recorded on my planning channel a video for this is the common planner. This is like my everyday throw in my bag planner. So I did a video on me setting up this for this week as well. So it has been a fairly busy day today for me. So I think for reading wise, I don't have my Kindle with me, but I know I am on chapter 18 of Fix Her Up, which is the book that I'm reading this week. And so far it's pretty good. It's a basic little romance book. It looks to be that it is a childhood friends to lovers type situation, along with some fake dating involved in it. So I do enjoy a fake dating trope, so I do like that. There is, from reading the reviews and the comments on this book, a lot of people did not like that the FMC was a clown, like she was a kid's birthday party clown, and that is her job. So a lot of people did not like that she was a clown for her profession, but I feel like in romances you have to have some kind of uniqueness to a story, otherwise it's basically a cut and paste of a storyline. So you have to have something new, and this, at least I've never read a story where any of the characters were clowns. But yeah, so that was the main thing that a lot of people did not like about this book. I personally don't care because it's not like in your face. So that's where I'm at reading wise. I'm hoping I'll be able to get this book done today. We're gonna go ahead and jump over to my next video so I can start recording it, and we can try to get all of our videos done as fast as, since today is a holiday, this is the perfect time for me to try to record as many videos as I possibly can. So that's what we're doing. And we will do another check-in tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow I will be finished with my book and starting a new one. So let's do that. All right guys, we're doing our next check-in. It is Wednesday, and this has now been the 4th try to do this clip. I have been having focus issues all day. Hopefully this will be it. And I can pretty much guarantee after this video, or after this check-in, we are not doing another check-in today because I don't know if me and my camera, we're not seeing eye to eye, and I don't really think I want to deal with it again. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about what's happened today. It is 2:30 p.m. I have been in meetings since 9:30 in the morning. I had to take a step away from my desk because I needed it. So that is why we're in my little cozy reading chair. And yeah, I've been in back-to-back meetings. I'm exhausted. The last meeting I did, which I'm sure you're going to see a clip of, it was one of those meetings where you just wanted to put your head on your desk and wish you were somewhere else because it was exhausting. I'm so tired. I was so tired of that meeting. Thank goodness it ended early. I do have another meeting in 30 minutes, and that will be my last meeting for the day, and I will be done. Thank goodness. So that is work. The kids are out of school today because of ice on the roads. Kids will be out of school again tomorrow because of ice on the roads, and then they should be going back to school on Friday. Just because tomorrow we're supposed to have sunny weather, or it's supposed to be sunny and like 40 something degrees is the high, and it's going to be raining at some point. Like at some point it's going to rain, I think. And so hopefully with the sun and the above freezing temperatures, the 40 degrees, and with potentially a chance of rain, hopefully that'll take care of all of the ice on the roads. And then as the week goes on, it's supposed to be getting warmer and warmer. So we should be out of this little snow ice thing that we're in. So that's great. And yeah, so that's work and school. Now let's talk about books. What we're all here for and what I thoroughly enjoy. So I did not do a check-in yesterday because I had a lot of work after the 3-day weekend. I had a lot of emails, I had a lot of meetings, and I just had a lot of stuff happening that I just didn't want to pick up the camera. So that's where yesterday went. So I'm going to go ahead and fill you in on the books that I read. And I did end up finishing Fixer Up on Monday night. I gave this 3.75. The reason why I gave it 3.75 was because the MMC in this book was essentially written as a kind of a womanizer. Like he went from woman to woman, never wanted a relationship, always wanted to be by himself. He never wanted to get married. He never wanted to have kids. He never wanted a girlfriend. Like that was his personality, which is fine. If that's what you want to be, then great. You be a womanizer. Stay away from me though. And he did fake dating with the FMC, so that way he could get rid of this like womanizer image for a job that he wanted. And so as they were fake dating, he started to kind of catch feelings, like he was, feeling a certain way toward the FMC, but it's still, he had it in his character or in his personality to where he still was like, I don't want to have babies, I don't want to be married, like that. He still had that overwhelming feeling of what he wanted to be in the future, which is not what she wanted. And that's great. Had no problem with it. Throughout the book, enjoyed the brother's best friend, the like childhood kind of friends to lovers, the fake dating trope. Like I liked all of those tropes that made up this book. The reason why I gave it 3.75 was because after the third act breakup, where like I said, he was catching feelings, but he still kind of was like, I don't want to get married, I don't want to have kids, that type of thing. After the third act breakup, he immediately flipped. All of a sudden it was, oh my God, I love her. I want to be married to her. I want to have kids with her. I want to be for her, like everything. Like it was immediate. It wasn't even, I think I would have scored it higher if it would have been a third act breakup, them resolving their issues, getting back together, and then doing an epilogue of a year later, then doing the ending in this book. That I think would be much more believable, but it was just immediate. It was that flip that I did not like. So that was the reason why I gave 3.75. Otherwise, it was a good book. The clown aspect didn't really bother me. It was just, it was what she did as a job. I didn't think it was that big of an issue. So that was what we finished on Monday. And then on Tuesday, I started Firefly Lane, and I read it to about 20% now. I'm on chapter 8, I think, of this book. Nope, chapter 7, going into chapter 8. I'm right at the end of chapter 7. And this is basically it's a story about two friends. It's Tully and Kate, and it's just them, you know, how their friendship over the years. So they're still in the 1970s. They're like 17 years old right now, and it's eventually going to evolve into them becoming an adult. And I'm assuming it's going to be all of like the situations and their like drama and stuff that happens between friends as they get older. And it's not that bad. So the one thing I will say is I do not like this book, the feel of this book, because this is a mass market paperback. I got it used at a used bookstore when I lived in Georgia, so it's been like over 2 years. But for comparison, this is a typical paperback now. This is a little bit shorter, and also a little bit narrower from a normal book. This is also 500 pages. So it is fairly thick and very short and thin. So when I'm reading it, it's very like, I can't like bend the page, like I can't comfortably bend the page back. Like I always have to be like this. And it's just very awkward. It's very awkward to read. And unfortunately, because of the roads, I can't get to the library because the library has this book in stock, but I can't get to it to get that paperback version. So I'm going to continue trying to read it today, but I think if this would have been in a bigger copy or like a normal size paperback, I probably would have gotten further along in this book. It's so difficult for me to read, and it's awkward. I don't like it. I do not like these mass paperback books that they used to sell all the time. I don't like the feel of these. I don't know how people read these years and years ago. These frustrate me. Anything smaller than this bugs me. So that's where we're at in our current reading. I'm 20%. I'm hoping to get to 40% in this book tonight, but we're gonna have to see. I really don't know if I'm gonna make it, but that is what we're doing for reading, and we're gonna call it a day. I have now about 20 minutes left before my next meeting, and I still need to decompress after the day that I've had so far. I can already hear my computer going off with emails, and I really don't want to listen to them, or I don't want to deal with them right now. It's just been one of those days. I know, you know what I'm talking about. It's just one of those days where you just don't want to work, and you're just annoyed now, and you just don't want to deal with people. Like, it's just one of those situations where you just want to sit back and do nothing. All I want to do is sit in this chair and read this book, but in a different version. I'll read this book until I can find something better. But that's really all I want to do. I just want to sit and read. I've only got an hour left. I can make it, I think. So that's it for today. I am 100% not doing a check-in tonight because I don't want to. I know I'm not going to want to. So I will see you guys tomorrow. And hopefully tomorrow will be a better day because I'm tired. So yeah. Good times. Let's scooch in a little bit, and hopefully this clip will focus on me, because I have, in addition to having issues with work, not issues with work, busyness at work causing me to have stressful situations, I have also been fighting with focusing issues on this camera. So hopefully this looks better, because I really didn't feel like doing 4 takes again like I did yesterday. So today is Thursday. It is 1:30. I have 2 hours left of work and I am ready for it. So for today, work-wise, I had 2 meetings and a bunch of phone calls, and I am already exhausted. I've done a bunch of emails, a bunch of taskers, and I want to mentally check out of my job. And luckily tomorrow is my super early, easy day. I only have to work 2 hours tomorrow. So I'll work from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and I am done. Hallelujah. Thank goodness. So that's where I'm at work wise. Really just counting down the minutes until the end of this day. And then for kids, school was canceled today because of snow and ice. I just got a message from the school that it was going to be closed again tomorrow. So the kids will be home again. And hopefully the roads will be clear enough that we can go out. So we can get these kids out of the house, because I think they're getting stir crazy. Or it's just me and my husband that are getting stir crazy with the kids in the house. I don't quite know which one it is, but we need to get out. So yay, one more day of the kids at home and then the weekend, and then they'll be back at school on Monday. Thank goodness. So that's kids. And now we're going to talk books, which is what we are here for. So I have decided to hold off on Firefly Lane. I tried to pick this up yesterday, and again, it made me mad having to hold this book. I lost my bookmark. But I did go ahead and reserve a different version of this book at my library. And so as soon as the library opens and I can get on the road to get it, I will be picking this up again and finishing this book with a different copy. But I have not picked that up anymore. I did last night, though, pick up Normal People by Sally Rooney. And that book is a very small book. It's only like 277 pages. I am about between 15 and 20%, I can't remember exactly what it is, complete with that book. I did know going in to that book that Sally Rooney does not use quotation marks in their dialogue. And so luckily I knew that going in, because if you open that book and you see the pages, it looks like every page is full description, because there are no quotation marks to say, characters are speaking. And so luckily I knew that going in, so it wasn't like startling when I opened that book. It's also in third person, so that's another little ding. I don't like books in third person because I feel, again, that I don't get involved and I don't get attached to the characters, because it's, telling what they're doing, and I don't feel like I am the character doing that thing. I do know it's a very popular book and people really do like it, but we'll kind of have to see how that goes. I will say I don't really care for the MMC right now, because he's very much I want to be friends with the FMC and I want to hook up with the FMC, but I don't want to tell anybody about it, because he's like embarrassed, because he's in high school, and so he's embarrassed to kind of associate with her, which I don't like. It's typical high school behavior, so it's not out of the realm of possibilities. It's something that happens, but I don't really care for it. But that's where I'm at. I'm hoping that, because everything is still closed in northern Alabama, that I don't have I'm not taking my girls to gymnastics today. I can't really go anywhere today. So I'm hoping that with this book being 277 pages and I've already started it, I'm hoping I can finish it tonight, if I can stay off of TikTok. I downloaded TikTok a couple weeks ago, and I have every day at least 2 hours on TikTok, if not more. And it's directly relating to the amount of pages I am not reading. So normally I read at least 100 pages or so a night, and since I've started TikTok and I've been integrated into the TikTok tunnel that people get in, my reading has only gone down it's basically gone down to 20 to 30 pages, maybe a little bit more a day. So I've definitely had a decrease in pages because of TikTok. I need to stop. So I'm hoping that I can do that today. That is my check-in for today. I'm probably not going to do another check-in this afternoon, just because I'm going to be at home. Nothing is happening. I'm sorry if this vlog is so boring, but I fully intended on going to work, bringing you into work, bringing you to gymnastics, bringing you to my kids' doctor's appointments. So I had something planned for this weekly vlog, but the weather has caused that to go all down the toilet. Thank you, winter weather. We are going to go ahead, shut this down so I can jump back into my work and finish out the day. That's it.
Wish that I could stay in this moment forever, so I can hold you in my arms.
Too high. Sure. Hey guys, welcome back. Today's Friday. I am off of work and my fan turned on again. This Dyson fan turns on literally every time I try to record a video. Every single time. And my heat just kicked on, so whatever. But it's Friday. It is 9:30. I have been off of work now for a little over an hour. Thank goodness I am done for the week. I love my Fridays, only having to work 2 hours. It would be even better if I got Fridays off completely, but because of schedule and appointments and things like that, that just doesn't happen. So, done with work. Hallelujah. Thank the goodness. Love it. It's also sunny outside, which hopefully means that ice will be melting. We can go outside, go to the store, and get out of this house. So my husband's actually outside right now breaking up the ice that's still on our driveway so we can get out of our house, and I'm so excited. So girls are off of school again today, so their like 3-day Martin Luther King holiday turned into a 10-day essentially break after their 2-week Christmas break. So they're home again, but that's okay because hopefully we can venture out into the world and not be stuck in our house again. So that is like the situation today, but we're going to talk about reading. So I did read some more of Normal People last night. I got to page 148, which is like 54% through this book, and we're DNFing it. So this will be my first DNF of the year. That is one of my goals for 2024, is to DNF more books that I'm just not, or I should not say DNF more books, DNF books more acceptably. I think that's the right term. We'll say acceptable. I'm more willing to DNF books that I'm just not happy with. Previously, I think last year I only DNF'd I think 2 books, maybe, and I would always push through the books to get done with them because I felt like I had to. But I don't want to do that anymore. I want to read books that I'm enjoying, and this I am not. So let's talk about why. I've already kind of mentioned this is in third person. I don't really care for that. Also has no quotation marks, which I don't like, but I can kind of get around it. But the thing that I am not enjoying, or the 3 things, there's several things I'm not enjoying. So 1, I just don't care for the characters. I don't like Marianne. I really don't like Connell. And I just don't want to read about them anymore. I'm over them. So there's that. It's kind of hard to read a book and enjoy it when you don't like the characters. And then another thing that I don't like is it seems like things are being introduced that have no impact. Like so far, as of like 54% into this book, things are being introduced that doesn't seem like it has an impact other than just to put trauma in the character. So for instance, if you don't want to know anything about this book, then, I'll try to put when I'm finished talking about this book. So you look at the timestamp if you don't want to know about normal people, but so we're gonna start talking now. Jump if you don't want to know about this book. The thing I've noticed so far was like there'd be a topic of Marianne, or mentioned that Marianne was her dad before he died had beat her and beat her mom. And it had like, it didn't seem as if it had any impact other than to just put trauma into her life, into her personality. But even then, it's not like she, I don't know, like she already had a weird personality. Like she was very like alone, and I don't know. I just didn't care for her character, but there'd be things introduced like that. Or there was another thing where Connell was like, he didn't know who his dad was. It mentioned it so far 2 or 3 times, but it didn't have any impact. Like he didn't care that he didn't know who his dad was. It wasn't a personality. It wasn't something that caused him to do something in his personality where like, you know, he doesn't like men, or he's suspicious of men or whatever because of his dad being absent. Like it didn't have any impact, but it was still brought up a few times that he doesn't know who his dad is. And then the other thing, and I think this is the biggest thing that I really did not like about this book and what made me stop, was every chapter there's a time jump. So it'll be like the very first chapter of this book is January 2011. So you read about January 2011, and then the little next book, it is 3 weeks later, February 2011. And then the next chapter is like 3 months or something down the road, 1 month later. And then it's 6 weeks later, and then 3 months later. And there's big time jumps between chapters, which I'm okay with. But there were things that happened in a chapter that when they jumped to the next chapter, like 6 weeks or 3 months or a month later, whatever happened in that chapter was not active anymore. For instance, when Marianne goes to college, her and Connell kind of stop being friends at the end of high school. And then they both go to the same college. And when they go to college, Connell, who was usually like the most popular, everybody knew him type personality, when he goes to college, it's a complete opposite. He's the quiet, the loner. He doesn't really have any friends. Marianne, who was the loner, didn't have friends. Everyone thought she was awkward. In college, she becomes the popular one. And so Connell, after going to college, gets invited to a party by some guy named Gareth that he has a class with, or a couple classes with. Gareth invites him to his party. And while he's there, Gareth is like, oh, you're from whatever the city name is. You might know my girlfriend. And they get introduced, and lo and behold, it's Marianne, which is cool. You know, Marianne is now the social butterfly. She has a boyfriend. Everything is looking up for Marianne. But then the very next chapter is, I think, a month later or so. And all of a sudden, like, she's getting into the car with Connell. They had this party and something happened, but apparently she's not with Gareth anymore. And so things happen in those time gaps that is never explained. And so it took me a minute when that first happened to figure out that that's what's going on. Because for me, if someone says, oh, you're dating Gareth, I would think the next chapter, even if it's a month later, you would still hold on to the concept that, or your relationship would still hold true from the previous chapter. So even if it's 6 weeks later, 2 months later, a year later, if you say at the end of the chapter, if you're dating a certain person, the next chapter, I would assume you are still dating that person, or it is explained shortly after the new chapter begins that that's not the case anymore. But it was never explained that she's no longer with Gareth. It was dating Gareth, and I guess I don't know what happened to Gareth. I don't know what happened. It's just now she's going on her life 3 months later. So it was a bunch of things, and I just couldn't force myself to try to read the rest of the 100 and what, I think it's like only like 130 pages or so. It's, 273 pages is how long this book is, and I'm at 148. So I can't force myself to read over 100 pages. just to say that I finished this book. So we are DNFing first book of 2024. So, but I'm still counting this book as read. So in my story graph, if I DNF a book, I'm going to try to DNF a book as of, I'm going to get through 50%, at least 50% before I officially DNF any book. And if I do that, if I can make it to 50% and I still don't like the book and I DNF it, I'm counting it as a book read. And so in story graph, it's going to say that I read this book. And it's going to say I read all 273 pages. But to me, if I had to be miserable for half of the book, you're going to give me the rest of the book. You're going to give me the pages for the rest of this book. I'm going to take credit for it because I was not enjoying this book and I need some way to feel like I'm getting something out of it because I literally got nothing out of this book. And at least I can say that the time I wasted reading it, I'm somehow getting back because I'm going to count the full 273 pages as being read on my statistics in story graph. So if I DNF a book and I don't make it to 50%, if I only read 30% of the book and then I just give up, I'm not going to count that. Like, I need to get at least 50% in order for me to say I read this book and I'm taking credit for all of the pages. So that's my DNF policy. So now that that book is done, we're going to pick up a book I know I'm going to enjoy, and that is me rereading New Moon. So this is book 2 of Twilight. I read this. I don't even remember when I read this. Like, it had to have been, when did this book get published? That's what I need to know. This book was published, first paperback edition was in May of 2008. I probably read this because I didn't read it right when it came out. So I'm going to say I read this probably around 2012, maybe. I'm going to say 2012. And so I have not read this since then. 2012 was 12 years ago. So I was in my late 20s. Nope. I was 32. I can't do math. I'm okay. So 12 years ago, I was in my early 30s when I read this book. So granted, I was still an adult reading a young adult book, but I love Twilight. I love the movies, all of the movies, even the first one that was kind of, even the ones that are cringy. I love this book. This has nostalgia. I'm going to love it. This is going to be a 5-star. I'm going to rate this 5-star, but I'm so excited because I get to reread this and go back to the beginning and read about Edward and Bella. And I love Charlie. I like him in this book as well. And I love it. This is also when Jacob does his like glow up. I'm excited. So this is what I'm going to be reading next. That's where we're at. Doing the check-in. We're going to read this for the rest of the day. We might, like I said, hopefully go out into the world just to get out. And yeah, otherwise we'll just be staying at home because everything got canceled again. All of the appointments got canceled that were normally scheduled for Friday. And so we're just going to be staying home and reading. Good times. So that's going to be it. I might do a check-in later. I don't know. If not, I will see you on Saturday. All right, it is Saturday. It is 3:15. I just got back from finally getting out of the house to kind of venture out. Thank goodness. Took the girls shopping. We ended up going to Target, Barnes & Noble, Bath & Body Works, and Dick's. I wanted to actually go out and do some other shopping, but to get out to like the normal town where everything is at, you have to go over a mountain. And I was terrified that right now the road over the mountain is open, but I was terrified that I would be on the opposite side of the mountain and then the city would close the road and I would be stranded, which did happen to people last year when we had a unexpected like ice storm. There were people who had to abandon their cars on top of the mountain and walk down the mountain to get to their house, or they had to have people on four-wheelers to come up to the mountain to take people back down. There were actually people who were on horseback that was taking their horses up to help bring people back down, and I did not want to be one of those people. It actually, last year, I was on the opposite side of the mountain like an hour or two before the road was closed, and I had just made it over before they closed the mountain down. So I did not want to have that happen again. So we were only over for about 2 hours, and then we came home. I wanted to have enough time that I got home before sun was going down, and I was terrified. I thought there was actually going to be a lot more people shopping, but there wasn't. So yeah, so I got out. I am going to go ahead. Let's do a really quick haul. So in Target, I don't really have anything to really haul. It was just getting some necessities, getting some moisturizer for my daughter, getting a bath bomb for my other daughter. So really nothing to show for that. And then, but for Barnes and Noble, I did go ahead and I finally broke down and got their like premium membership, because I am a sucker for Barnes and Noble exclusive books. And I bought 4 of them today. So I happened to be watching Heather McClary on sometime this week, and she had talked about how there was a Barnes and Noble exclusive book for Ninth House. Have I read Ninth House? No. I plan on it. Actually, it's going to be in an upcoming video, so keep your eye out if you would like to see me read this book. But I did go out and purchase Ninth House and Hellbent in the Barnes & Noble exclusive editions. I love the look of specifically this one. I really love the red like foiled like snake. Love the look of this one. So I had to buy this, and then I figured if I was getting the Barnes & Noble exclusive for Ninth House, I might as well go ahead and pick up the second book. While this one doesn't have any foil, it still is, you know, a nice little version. So I did pick up Ninth House and Hellbent. So love this. And then as I was going out, I saw this and decided I needed to buy it too. So I did also buy Crescent City. We have the House of Earth and Blood in the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, and we have House of Sky and Breath again in Barnes & Noble exclusive editions. So these do not have any kind of like edges, but they do have like this little, which I kind of like. It's got the little flap that you can use as a bookmark. I was planning on buying these books, but I wanted to get them in hardback because I did want to buy the third book that's going to be coming out at the end of January. But I know that book is going to take a while to get a paperback version. And I personally thought, because these books are so thick, I like to have thicker books in hardback. They're just easier, I think, to read. But I could not find these in hardback in like a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. So I went ahead and get them. I got them in this version anyways. I am planning on reading these in 2024 for the Sarah J. Maas universe. I just finished Throne of Glass in 2023. The last book I read was in December, either November, December. So I finished Throne of Glass. I am starting ACOTAR, and I will get done with ACOTAR by May. And then I plan on having June and July, and then the third book in August. That's kind of my Sarah J. Maas plan for 2024. But I did go ahead and get both of those books. So I have a total of 4 new books that I got from Barnes & Noble using my new Barnes & Noble premium membership. And then for Bath & Body Works, really all that I wanted was I needed to buy more of my like wallflowers, and I wanted to get a new wallflower plug-in because the one that I have in my office over here is still the Christmas one, and I wanted to get a non-Christmas one. So I did buy a new wallflower plug-in, and then I bought 5 new little scents. So that's what I got for Bath and Body Works. And then in Dick's, I have been influenced by TikTok. So I have a Stanley, and I love my Stanley. It is a 40-ounce Stanley, and I've had it for several months now. I want to say I got it like the middle of the year, like in June or July of 2023, but I love it. But I am now going to be going into work 1 day a week at a minimum, starting, it was supposed to be this week, but the base that I work at is closed all this week because of ice. But so starting next week, I will have to go into the office at least once a week. Hi, Boomer. Hi, Boomer. Oh, good boy. So with me having to go into work at least once a week, I have to bring my purse, my like laptop, like briefcase book bag thing with all of my notes, my pens, my headset, all that kind of stuff. I have to carry that as well. In addition, I'm gonna have my coffee that I'm going to be bringing first thing in the morning, along with my water. Now, the few times that I had to go into work in the morning with all of that stuff in my hands, it did get awkward having to hold both of my bags, my coffee mug, and my Stanley, and I also have to badge in to my work. So I would have to hold both of them, and then when I have to badge, I would have to put like my coffee or my water in one side of my arm to use the other one to kind of badge in. So in order to kind of fix that problem, because my Stanley is a strawed Stanley and it leaks, like you can't, it's one of those that it's gonna leak if it flips over. So instead, TikTok influenced me to buy the Awala mugs. I had originally saw these at Target a while ago. My daughter had actually already pointed these out, that people at her school are starting to carry Awalas instead of Stanleys. And when she showed them to me, like it's got like a little handle, which is nice. And so it has a little push top, and it's got the like drink spout. When my daughter had originally talked to me about this, I did not realize there's a straw that's actually in here. I prefer straws instead of like tilting, just because when I'm driving, it's easier for me to drink than try to drive and like drink like this. But I did not realize there's a straw in here until TikTok showed me there's a straw that you can drink out of. This little bottom piece right here is actually a straw. And so I saw that and I was like, this is perfect. This is a 32 ounce though. I did not get the 40 ounce. I think this is 32. Yes, this is 32 ounces. So it does not hold as much water as my Stanley does, but I can throw this in my purse, and I don't have to worry about it leaking. So I can throw it in my purse, I can throw it in my laptop bag, and I don't have to worry about it. So I bought this because I'm able to now throw this in my bag. It is insulated. I have like ice in it, and this will be what I'll take to my office. And I have already, since I got home, which I've been home for like 40 minutes, I've already drank all of my water in here. There is still ice, but all of the water is gone. So I have been hydrated, and I have my new water bottle. So that is what I bought from Dick's. And so that is my day so far. The rest of the day I'm going to plan on just staying home, and that's going to be it. So, but reading wise, we're going to, so I DNF'd, what is that book called? Normal People. So Normal People is on the shelf. That is not going to be picked up again. I did go ahead and restart reading New Moon. I only got like 5% in. And the reason why is, I think I mentioned this earlier this week, I need to stay off of TikTok. So yesterday, let me see what had happened. What had happened was TikTok was distracting. So yesterday, was, what day was yesterday? Friday. I was on TikTok for 3 hours and 12 minutes. And the majority of TikTok was all during my already dedicated reading time. So I did not read as much as I thought. I was hoping I was going to get at least 100 pages into that book, so that way I can try to knock it out and then I can, you know, get to reading other books. But that did not happen. I think I'm only like 30 pages, maybe, probably less than 30, maybe right at 30 pages. I think I'm about 30 pages into New Moon, but I was hoping to be at least 100, but that didn't happen because of TikTok. I am going to start reading as soon as this video is done. I got to do a little bit of editing and then I'm going to go downstairs and read. So hopefully I'll have some reading that will be happening now before dinner, and then we'll do some more reading tonight. Crossing fingers that I stay off of TikTok. But yeah, so that is my reading today. So that is going to be it for today. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing anything, but hopefully reading today and editing today. And then we'll have our last check-in and updates on Sunday. And hopefully I'll have my goal next check-in. Hopefully, crossing fingers, I can say I am at least 25% done with New Moon by tomorrow's check-in. That's what I'm hoping. I'm going to try to stay off of TikTok for today. I don't even think I've been on TikTok today. Let's see. For today, I've been on TikTok for 6 minutes today. So I have been doing very well with TikTok. My goal is not to have any more TikTok all day today. I want to stay off of TikTok. It will happen, hopefully. So that's going to be it for today. I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here. We might hopefully do some reading. I will be doing reading the rest of the day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. All right, it is Sunday, the end of the week, and the last check-in for this weekly Week in My Life vlog. And I wanted to just kind of really quickly talk about what we did today. Honestly, today was a stay-at-home, bunch of laundry, bunch of cleaning, vacuuming, dusting, washing sheets, washing towels, doing all the laundry for the start of the next week. That normal adulting thing. So there really wasn't anything to show, but that's pretty much what today was. But we're gonna go ahead and let's talk about reading. So like I said in yesterday's clip, I really wanted to stay off of TikTok in order for me to get to 25% through the book. And I did that. So yesterday I read to 28% of New Moon. I am now on page 168 because I have done a little bit of reading today. And that would put me at 30% done with New Moon. And I do hope that tonight I'll be able to get to at least the 50% mark of New Moon, hopefully even more than that. But that's my goal for tonight. I did end up going on TikTok last night after I got to my 28% mark. And how long was I on TikTok? I tried to stay off of TikTok. I tried to stay off of TikTok a decent amount last night. But let's see. On Saturday, I was only on TikTok for 51 minutes. So I definitely did much better with my TikTok addiction yesterday. My goal is finish or get to at least 50% today of New Moon. I also have been listening to Meat Eater on Spotify, and I'm on track 18 of 23. So I don't know what that equates to because Spotify is not like Audible or anything like that where it'll tell you how, what your percentage is. At least from what I can tell, I don't see the percentage complete of the book, but I only have an hour and 42 minutes left. I should be able to get that done hopefully soon. I might try to listen to more of it this coming week. I do plan on having to go into work at least twice this coming week. So I'll be listening to that on the way into work, on the way back from work, and potentially maybe while I'm working, I'll have that on in my AirPod while I'm working, just as background noise. So hopefully that'll be done fairly quickly, and then that will leave me only Firefly Lane, and I'm still waiting for my library book to come in for that. If it ends up to where I'm done with New Moon and I'm done with Meat Eater, then I'll have to just read my copy, even though I don't like it. But that's gonna be the end of this like week in my life vlog. And yeah, it was definitely not a vlog that I anticipated, or the things that happened, such as ice and kids being home from school all week and my base being closed all week. That was not anticipated, but you know, things happen. But that was what happened in my life last week. With that, I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you've made it to this far, put me a snow or ice emoji, just that way I know that you made it to the end of the video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I do have upcoming videos that I'm really excited to record over the next few weeks, so definitely make sure that you subscribe, and if you want, you can hit that notification bell so that way you'll be notified whenever the videos go live. And I will say thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.